Hello, this is the analysis of Nathaniel. I'm just looking at Prey. Now, Prey is kind of a horror-based game, first-person shooter type game, right? So yeah. No, I recently bought this. Now, it is one of my newer games that I did buy. Even though Prey came out around 2017, so it's 4 years. But like if you play the game and I look at the graphics is beautiful. You would think it's one of the newer games. Yeah, so if you guys are watching this, subscribe, share the video. I mostly do gaming content. I'm video game heavy. You know, I'm gonna start uploading like on a second channel soon. So yeah. Now pray and again subscribe button mark. It only takes a few seconds. Right down there, please. Wait. Hold on. There's my finger. Right down there. Right down here. Please press on it. So Prey is again horror based type game, and first off playing the game exploration. There's tons of rooms. There's lots to see in the world. You're in like a space station that's been it's been kind of taken over by these mimics, kind of like this alien type. I'm guessing this virus type biomass or material, and it's basically killing humans and everybody in the station. All the scientists. It's a science research station. So you're going from like engineering, areas to med base to kitchen areas to huge industrial areas in space and all that. So yeah, and there's tons of areas to see, tons, and through there's this whole thing with the key card. So there's different key cards that you get in the game. Now key cards, they can be hard to find. Well, obviously some harder than others, but there'll be like some sort of lock. So there'll be like this a glass door, but it's locked. Basically, you can't go through it unless you have the right key card. Like there's a key card for the auditorium, or there's a key card for the it's like a glass based hologram room. So yeah, these different key cards that you gotta get, and exploring the world will make you get these key cards. Now yeah, tons of areas, lots of areas. The areas all look very distinct. They all stand out a lot. That's probably like the game's biggest, like what stands out best about the game. Prey also has a lot of loot, lots of loot. You're looting. You basically have junk. I forgot. I believe it's junk resources. So junk resources basically something where you basically kind of what's the word? Scavenge. I can scavenge. No. I scavenge the. I don't know the word, but I basically I convert it into some sort of useful material into this machine. So yeah, junk, and they appear. You have an inventory scale, right? So I kind of like if you play Resident Evil, you'll know, but there's an inventory thing where there's squares, so you basically group up these kind of like a graphical, representation of everything in your inventory. Guns, resources, loots, medical equipment, and all that. So basically, these junk materials they appear as gray. They're little gray squares, right, of all sorts of things, right? Parts, engine parts, or what have you, banana peels, and all that. You basically convert these into useful material, and then with the useful material you can craft like medical equipment or ammo for weapons or certain types of oxygen tanks or something like that. Yeah, I know it seems weird, it doesn't make sense, but yeah, that's what they have. And really, like with Prey, now Prey is very, I can tell it's like it's very horror based, right? So with I reminds you a lot of Dishonored. So it's made by Bethesda, so it's the same company that made Skyrim, right? That's why upon playing the game, like I really got into it. Like it has elements of Skyrim, the first person, type, the gameplay, and but it's really more like Dishonored. I like Dishonored 1. If you play Dishonored, please play it. Where it's like first person Imperial France or England, 17th century fighting swords, kings, queens, and all that. So yeah, but it's very similar to Dishonored. Very, very, very similar. Mechanics, the movement, everything. If you like Dishonored, you like this. Now, yeah, again, lots of loot. Now, going back to the loot, there is lots of loot in Prey. Lots and lots and lots of loot. Sometimes I lose track of what the loot is. Like, why am I getting this? What is the purpose of this? Why? Like why? What's the need of this, so and so. But is and most of the loot that you get is gonna be the drunk type loot, you know. Now going into the maybe if fighting mimics. Mimics is kind of like a symbiote. If you guys know Venom, the symbiote that comes off of him, it's kind of like that, right? So the mimics is kind of like these black synthoid. I don't know what the hell they are. Alien material, right? Now there's like standing mimics where they just kill you quickly, and that's another thing. The difficulty is not fair in the game, right? The difficulty doesn't feel fleshed out. It feels too unfair. You're running out of bullets a lot. Yeah, you don't have bullets. I can't tell you like countless times where. And that's why drunk is important in the game and crafting and converting it, because salvage, that's in it. You gotta salvage the drunk for material to get more ammo, because you're gonna run out of ammo a lot. You don't get that many weapons, right? So that's kind of early on. It's kind of disappointing, but yeah, the difficulty you die a lot. Sometimes you'll feel like okay, there is no way past this enemy. You're trapped, and like there's a lot of that. There's lots of that, and yeah, but Prey, and that's where it really falls. If you guys like a challenge, like a really a type of unfair challenge, play this, because man, I tell you, upon playing it, and I play on normal, right? So I die, and I looked up things like I looked up other type of reviews for this game, and it's similar type of issues where I die a lot, unfair type gameplay, and yeah. The stealth is annoying. I don't like the stealth, doesn't work in it so well. But some areas you have to be stealthy, especially if you're low on health and all that. Low on oxygen or something. Now there is something in the game where lots of limits where sometimes you'll be in space, and I know a lot of games, and very rarely do games do this, where there'll be a certain effect. I believe there's obviously in space a lot of things can kill you. A lot of things, lack of oxygen, radiation poisoning, all that, and as well in this game, the mimics themselves. So lots of threats to you. So there's fire, electricity, radiation, lack of oxygen. There's also some sort of like if you use your propulsion jetpack in like zero gravity, right? When you're in outer space, you're floating in outer space. If you use it too much, since it's first person, the distance might be kind of weird, but you will pushing it too much to the point where you'll go too fast and then you'll hit something. You will hit something, and then as a result, I was playing it my first time. Well, early on, or near 4 hours into the game, I was playing it, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I was going too fast. I did hit the side of this platform, right, like in outer space. I'm in zero gravity. Then obviously it said that I have a broken bone. It told me that I had a broken bone in my leg. So after I went back into the space station. Then I realized that holy shit, I can't run anymore. I can't run. Every time you run, your character is like because you literally have a broken leg because of that, because of the Jetta propulsion, which made you hit. You did hit the side of this platform, which caused damage to your body. There's also some other things, corrupting your weapon. There's these drones, they corrupt your weapon, so you can't use your weapon. There's one where I'm like, why can't I use this pistol? Because I can't. There's a corrupt type, a weapon dampener or something like that, where it doesn't work. Now the effects are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. They can get annoying because you obviously can't run if you and yeah, there's all sorts of different effects. One of my favorite obviously is the radiation. No, not the radiation. Electricity. There is one where there is a short circuit in this generator or something like that, and if you walk past it, you'll basically get fried. You'll get shocked. But you gotta. I believe there is a way to prevent it with the glue gun. The glue gun is something where it shoots out these huge type of like this big type of goo type of substance, and then it basically blocks I believe blocks out fire, and you know, electricity and all that. So yeah, you gotta use that to get past it. And you're gonna die very quickly. You die, again, you'll die very quickly by these traps. The enemy is trying to kill you. So yeah, again, the effects and now with the effects, now you gotta explore the world to get rid of the effects, because there is one where there is a medical bay, where there is a medical drone that this is the only way to get rid of, let's say if you have a broken bone or a concussion, or let's say if you had some sort of a radiation poisoning, the drone will basically cure you. But yeah, at a certain type of drone, you gotta go up, you gotta explore the world to find this drone, right? It's in this containment or whatever, and then you gotta release it. Then it'll say, oh, "Okay, I'm gonna cure you," like in its robot's voice. It's pretty cool. So yeah, now again, and the story kind of feels bland. Yeah, it's what it is. And not as good as Dishonored story, not as good so far. So far, right? That could have been more. And again, yeah, basically it shares the same environment. It was very now gameplay wise, it's like Dishonored, but if you look at it, no, it's more like a game. Like the overall tone of the game is like a Dead Space game, where you're isolated in the world. There's alien, zombie type, mutated creatures coming after you and all that. But Dead Space actually does it a lot better. Dead Space is scarier than this. This is more. I can tell it's more of a sci-fi base, but Dead Space is more like full on horror. But yeah, first person. If you like a first person type games, you kind of like it, even though it's not your typical type. It's not your typical type of game. You're not shooting soldiers, and the enemies, they're different. They're different, and you gotta watch out for so many things, right? So yeah, there's thoughts on it. Pray, pray now. If you look this up, I tried typing it up. It's hard to get this. As a result, you gotta type out the Prey video game from 2017, and I believe they did have another one from 2012. So yeah, thoughts on it, and do you guys play? Have you guys played? Do you guys plan on playing? Let me know. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe too.